everybody. Welcome tonight to our 2026 Relay for Life of Westland, Western Wayne County Kickoff event. So thank you for coming, everybody. We appreciate it. All right. So this evening, we have a lot in store for you. But we want to slide over for a second here. All right, we're just going to have a short video of our mission moment and why we're here.
I joined the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life to fight cancer. If you've ever wanted to be connected to something great, I would ask you to give it a try.
An army of bold, passionate volunteers that are all coming together to make a difference in the fight against cancer.
In every community, there's work to be done. And in everyone's heart lies the power to do that work. The American Cancer Society creates miracles every day, but trust me, Relay for Life funds those miracles. Come be a part of something that's absolutely going to change and save lives.
All right, so continuing on our mission moment, why we're here, why we are here, and a lot of what we do and when we fundraise goes into research. So tonight we are very, very honored and privileged to have Dr. Dominic Awad with us from the University of Michigan. And he's going to share what he's doing in the fight against cancer, specifically pancreatic cancer. So let's give him a warm welcome tonight.
Hi, thank you. Hi. Hi, what a welcome. I feel like at the Olympics with multiple microphones. I appreciate it. It's the first time a scientist feels like a superstar. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm gonna just talk for a few minutes today. I'm gonna just give you a little bit of an insight of what we do research-wise and also how many people are involved in this. And also, I wanna start out by saying thank you again for your efforts. Absolutely amazing what you do. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. So as you might have heard a little bit from my accent, I'm actually born and raised in Austria. I was born and raised in Graz, Austria. So of course you can see ski Olympics is very important to us since we live in the mountains. Thank you. I'm actually born in the same town as Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I always say to people, and they always start laughing. So yeah. So I went the science route, he went the bodybuilding route. But I got my education in Austria. I was at the University of Graz, where I first started microbiology. I was working with fungus, and I was studying how ribosomes are being formed in this fungus, which is these machines that translate the genetic information into proteins, which every cell needs. But then I realized I really wanted to do research that could be translated into something that could help people one day. And of course, I'm still on the basic science research side, which means we're trying to identify ways to, or try to identify therapeutic targets for down the road. So we're helping the physicians to basically find new ways to target cancer. So in order to make this happen, I then moved to the United States, where I, in part due to my wife, she's an American, and then I was able and lucky enough to train at UTMD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas, where I worked on prostate cancer. And we tried to understand how these fats and lipids that are stored inside the cancer cells can actually fuel the cancer when they're starting to starve and trying to run out of nutrition. There I fell in love with cancer metabolism. This was a field that was very dear to me because it's about how we take our nutrients in and how they're being transformed into basically fuel for the cancer cell. And then I was recruited to the University of Michigan there for my postdoctoral fellowship, where I'm now combining my expertise in microbiology as well as in cancer metabolism, where we study now how the microbiome, especially metabolites that are coming off these microbes, can actually then impact the cancer environment. The model that we use, or the cancer that we are very focused on, is pancreatic cancer. It's one of the deadliest cancer, unfortunately. As you can see here, the predictions for 2026 is about 68,000 people that are going to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and there will be about 53,000 estimated deaths from these cancer patients, leading to a 13% survival rate. And the majority of this survival rate is pushed by that if you have a local disease, you have a chance of 40% survival, but if you're diagnosed with a metastatic disease, it can be as low as 3%. One of the reasons why we have this low survival rate is it has not a lot of biomarkers, so we cannot really predict the cancer. And in addition, it has a lot of resistance to chemotherapy and immunotherapy. And this, in part, is also through the microbiome, which I am studying. So when we think about the microbiome, you probably have heard it in different TV shows, you have heard it on the news, but basically it's a community of bacteria, fungi, or viruses that are throughout our body. It's a normal environment, so it's nothing wrong if you have fungus or bacteria. It actually helps you. Usually when we talk about microbiome, we're talking about the skin, we're talking about the oral microbiome, the gut microbiome, as well as urogenitalial microbiome. However, one of the things that is completely understudied currently is actually the role of the fungus. A lot of people focus on the bacteria, but I'm focusing on the fungal part. So what happens with pancreatic cancer is that we notice from our experiments, as well as from other publications, that if a pancreatic tumor develops, we see that there's this increase of fungus that can actually translocate to the tumor. And you can see this here. We can detect this with fungal DNA. I apologize, the graphs got a little bit mixed up when we integrate them, but I hope you can appreciate this bar graph where you can see this increase in fungal DNA if you look at a tumor, a pancreatic tumor, compared to, for example, the amount of DNA from a fungus that we can find in an organ donor tissue. This would be regular pancreatic tissue. On the right side, you can see these blue dots. These are pancreatic cancer cells, and on top you can see these green spots, fluorescent spots. These are actually fungus. So we can stain for the fungus also in the pancreatic tumor microenvironment. So no worries. So in this case, this is a tumor slide where we can see actually the fungus being on top of the cancer cells. Well, one of the limitations that I found when I started my postdoc was we didn't really have a chance to study this fungus. We could only see if it's there or if it's not there, look at disease outcome. But one of the things that I want to understand is, like, how does this fungus actually contribute? And in order to do that, we had to actually isolate fungal and bacterial strains from pancreatic cancer patients so we can actually study them in more detail. And so what I did is first I isolated these fungi and bacteria from pancreatic cancer patients at the University of Michigan. We got some tissue from them when they had an autopsy or a biopsy, and then as well as from organ donors, we were able to compare this to healthy control using their pancreatic tissue or their small intestine. And now what we did is we isolated this bacteria and fungi in our microbiology labs, and now we can actually identify these strains, and we built this big collection of strains that now is also available to the research community to study this in more detail. In order to break down my research, what I'm really interested in is the first part is how nutrients are being converted by these bacteria and fungi into microbial-derived metabolites, as they call it. And we have a lot of evidence that these metabolites then can actually impact how the immune cells respond to the cancer. For example, we have found, and other people as well, that if these microbial metabolites are being secreted into the tumor, that immune cells are starting to shut down and then cannot attack the cancer as much as they would be if these microbes are not present. The second part that I work on is how these bacteria and fungi actually can inactivate chemotherapeutics. So, for example, we have some bacteria, and we're also working on some fungi to see if they can do the same thing. But with bacteria, we know they can actually take some of the common chemotherapeutics that are being used to treat pancreatic cancer, and they can actually inactivate them by simply digesting them and spitting them out. And in that case, the patient will have less response to these drugs. But I want to quick shift a little bit because if you think about a scientist, usually you think about somebody who works isolated somewhere in a basement. There's a lot of bottles around them. They're having the eureka moment and they run out and tell everybody about it. But this is not the case anymore. What we have now is actually we have a team of scientists. So for example, in my postdoctoral fellowship, I'm being trained by two mentors, Dr. Kostas Lysiotis, as well as Donil Daly. Donil Daly is also a surgeon, so I'm also getting always the clinical perspective, which is really important because you don't want to be too separated from the clinical side because they will tell you what is the most important topic in the field and how we can help the physicians to find new ways to treat it. In addition, we have a lot of other experts in the field that are helping us, for example, Marina Pascale-Maciano, as well as we're using the facilities of Tom Schmidt in the microbiome core and getting feedback from him how to better isolate, for example, these microbes. But this is just the beginning. If you look at my work, we're actually working with scientists across the United States. We have people at University of Michigan, a lot of collaboration. We have Baylor College of Medicine in Texas. We have University of Chicago as well as Henry Ford, who are all working together on one common goal to find new ways to treat cancer. So I want to kind of end with this slide, and I want to just say one more time, thank you again for your support, because this is the most important thing for us scientists, as I will tell you in a few words. We would not be able to do our research without your support, especially at a time where federal funding can sometimes be a little bit unpredictable. The American Cancer Society really allows us to kind of keep pushing forward without having any delay or any break in our research. So this is really something I want to emphasize here, that you're really filling in these gaps where we otherwise would stall or could not test as many ideas. My mentor, Costa Lucio, always says, with these ways, we can test in 6 ways if we can, or 6 shots at the goal instead of 3 shots at the goal. And so this is something I want to really emphasize here. And also, if you're funding postdoctoral fellows like me, you're actually supporting a whole team. So indirectly, you're supporting a big team around the United States all working together. And I was asked a few months ago, what does the American Cancer Society postdoctoral fellowship means to me? And I said, it's really the best feeling in the world, knowing someone believes in you and has your back, because I think I have a job with a 99% failure rate. Everything that I do, like all these experiments, they don't work out, and you move on. And then just knowing that someone is believing in you and supporting you really means everything. And it really gives you this extra energy to go the extra mile when you have a day where nothing is working in a laboratory. So I want to thank you for your attention. I hope I was not rambling too long. If you ever want to reach out, we're always happy to hear from you. And I really want to say thank you again for everything that you do. You're really doing fantastic work, and it means so much to us scientists. And thank you.
Before we change the screen, if anyone wants to take a picture, there is the email for Dr. Awad. If you want to take anyone that was interested in that, and take a minute before we change the screen. All right, moving over. But I just want to say thank you again, Dominic. I appreciate you coming and speaking. So another round of applause. All right. Yes, it is. So we're going to just go through few things. So I want to introduce the event leadership team. We have a couple that are not here today, but we will introduce everybody. So if you guys could come up front here, maybe that would be helpful because of taping. So I didn't introduce myself. I'm Carol Nelius, so I am your event lead. I have Debbie Getz. You want to come up? Come up here in front. All right, Kathy Graham. We have Miriam Cady. All right, we have Jill Lazat. Kathleen Russell, she's going to wave from the table. And then missing tonight, we also have Rhonda Graham, and we have Ashley Tatro, and we have Mary Hazel. Who could not be with us tonight, but they help us on the leadership team. So we are small. We're always looking for more help. So you ever see, and this is our lovely sporting our new shirts this year. This is the logo. The Hope Club will be a little different color, but it's nice. So, all right. All right, well, thank you. Thanks to the leadership team. All right. We're going to move forward. We're kind of going to look back. Last year, 2025, and do some celebrations because we want to celebrate, remember, and fight back. So we're going to look at our individual achievements first. And this is just kind of where you ended the year. So we first have Grand Club. These are people that ended the year raising $1,000 or more. We had Aaron Brown, Kathy Macko, and Ruby Richards. Next, we have Gold Club, those that have raised $1,500 or more. That was Barb Drain, Kathy Graham, Rhonda Graham, Ron Graham, Jane Heller, Rosemary Heller, Miriam Cady, Carol Nelius, and Kathleen Russell. All right, and then we have the Platinum Club, which you ended the year raising $5,000 or more. And that we have Jill Lizette. Okay, so I have some special recognitions so if I call you up, you're gonna come up and you're gonna stay up here. Come up to the front of the stage here so we can see you. So right now I'm gonna recognize the top 3 participants from last year's season for 2025. So at $2,342, I have Miss Kathy Graham. You can come up front. And then you come up here and stay up here, and I'll offer you to stand up here. All right, my next screen should be coming here. So I have Barb Drain, 2,386. All right, and then our top fundraiser was Jill Lizette with $8,008. All right, let's give the 3 of them a round of applause. Oh, come closer. Thank you, Jesus. That's exciting. It did not break. All right, so we're gonna, Miriam's gonna run up right now. And we had all of our teams last year, and she's going to read all of our teams. All right. Miriam, take it away. You got your paper.
Am I supposed to start? Oh no, don't ask me to dance, right? Hello, I know, right? Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, obviously for being here. We love to see your beautiful faces. And our 2025 participating teams were Ann's, Army, Avon, Westland, Best Buy Micro 468, Dairy Queen Westland, DHL Supply Chain Detroit Control Tower, Eclipse Dance Collective, Family and Friends for Life, Forever Friends, Heart and Soul, Homestead Kitchen Artesian Cakery, Kathy's Cancer Kickin' Crew, Let There Be Light, Leukemia Warriors, Shut Out Cancer, The Calm Before the Squall, the Dance Academy, Tommy's Express Car Wash, Westland Walkers.
All right, I'm going to go through the team achievements and where teams ended for the year in 2025. We will start with the Rising Star teams. That means you raised $1,000 or more as the year ended. So we have Ann's Army, Dairy Queen Westland, Shut Out Cancer, The Calm Before the Squall, the Dance Academy, Tommy's Express Car Wash of Westland, and the Westland Walkers. All right, next, our bronze team. They've raised $2,500 or more. That goes to Family and Friends for Life. Our silver team raised $3,500 or more. That goes to Team Heart and Soul. And then our gold teams, who raised $5,000 or more as the end of the year, went to Avon Westland, Kathy's Cancer Kickin' Crew, and Let There Be Light. More fun for me, yay! Okay, so I have special recognitions for our top 3 teams. So first up, we come on up front, we have Kathy's Cancer Kickin' Crew with $7,802. All right, everyone come up here. All right, our second top team is Let There Be Light with $8,273. All right, and then our top team with $9,558 was Avon Westland. Okay, all right. All right, another round of applause for our teams. Woo-hoo. All right. Now we had, at the end of the year, we gave out some fun awards, so we just kind of want to recap those awards that we gave at our wrap-up celebration at the park. We had our Rookie Team of the Year last year, went to Ann's Army. Then we had Best Decorated Campsite, went to Best Buy. Oh, you weren't there for that, so now you just heard. All right, then the Most Spirited Teams was a tie between Avon Westland and the Dance Academy. And now special sound effects from Kathleen. All right. Okay. I'm going to turn things over to Jill and Miriam. They're going to go through our sponsors from last year. We couldn't do things without them. So come on up.
Thanks for having us up here to talk about sponsors, which are so important to all of us, to our final event. Anyway, we will start with our 2025 event sponsors, Archer 2 Salon, Avon Independent Sales Representative, Jill Lazatz-Cates, Community Financial Credit Union, Dairy Queen Westland, Homestead Kitchen and Artesian Cakery, Independent Carpet 1, Mayor Racy and Wayne City Council, Michigan Educational Credit Union, Midas Muffler, 1812 North Wayne Road, Westland, Nankin Hardware and Hobby, Sports Venue, Tommy's Express Car Wash Westland, Tri-City Builders, Ute Funeral Home, Wayne Professional Firefighters, Wayne Westland Federal Credit Union, Western Wayne County NAACP, and Westland Democratic Club.
And special thanks to our 2025 Pizza Palooza sponsors, Marco's Fine Wine and Deli, Slice of the 80s Livonia, Vizzy's Pizza, Manja's Pizza and Catering, Luigi's Trattoria Pizzeria, Happy's Pizza, Benito's Pizza, Hungry Howie's Pizza, Tormino's Pizza, Jet's Pizza, and Crispy and Crave.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but that made me hungry. And then we're going to get to our 2026 Ladles of Hope sponsors. Flower and Flame, Chef Tony, is it Pequot? I think, Pequot. George's Family Dining, Grand Traverse Pie Company, Homestead Kitchen and Artesian Cakery, Leo's Coney Island, Mission Barbecue, Rocky's Family Dining, Sports Venue, and Texas Roadhouse. Thanks again for all that.
And our special sponsors, we would like to thank Carrabba's of Canton and Texas Roadhouse of Westland for providing our Survivor Luncheon at Relay last year, as well as the Dance Academy, Christina, for arranging the DJs and the entertainment. And then we also would like to thank Bell & Sons for all of our paper products and plasticware for the Survivor Lunch, as well as for Pizza Palooza. Oh, and Ladles of Hope.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Ladles of Hope too.
Okay, and this, we had our new, a new location for our Pizza Palooza, which we are so thankful for, and Wayne Ford Civic League for going above and beyond and helping us with this Pizza Palooza and the success of it. Really, we love it. Thank you.
Also, in the back of the room, we also have our 2026 sponsorship packets, if anyone is interested. And the majority of my fundraising comes from sponsorship, as well as Kathy with her team. Is if you know of a business that supports cancer incentives or helping to reduce cancer, talk to them. All they can do is say no. Present them with a sponsor packet. All the different levels are listed on what they get for what they pay to be a sponsor. If they can't afford anything, you might ask them to be an in-kind sponsor, just like Carrabba's and Texas Roadhouse. That is a big bonus for us to get some of the in-kind sponsors that we have as well. So if you have any questions about sponsorship, you can talk to Kathy, myself, Miriam, and pick up some sponsor packets in the back of the room before you leave.
You don't know till you ask.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we have our final celebration for 2025, which is, drum roll everyone, how much money we ended up raising last year. All right, $51,409.66. Wait, you have something else, go ahead. Oh, I thought you had, there we go. That's what I was waiting for.
The year before?
Could I hear the year before?
No, did the 51 reach the year before?
Oh, yes. We went up a little. We went up. Oh, well, no, maybe, yes.
No?
I don't have the data with me at this moment. Please come back after the tone. Beep, I don't know. I don't. Probably yes, yes, because we had a big $10,000 sponsor the prior year. We didn't have this 2 years ago, yes, so. Yeah, but hey, we still do awesome. All right. I think we have, as it lead way into what everything was always just mentioned about sponsorship, we have our very first sponsor this year already, Tri-City Builders. So let's give a shout out to them. All right, so I think everybody may already know kind of what our theme is, but let's go for it. Da, 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 da. So Dance Academy, we need some line dancing. All right, so we're giving cancer the boot. We've never had this theme, so we're pretty excited about it. So yeah, country, western, fun, more to come at our first team meeting. Yes, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. And it's easy for teams to decorate. Who cannot get country western? It'd be fun. It'd be fun. Yes. All right. You went ahead. All right, so right now, we're just showing right now, which is pretty exciting. We already have 15 teams signed up already, so give you guys a shout out. A couple new teams that were not able to join us tonight, so thank you all for coming. And then Best Buy, you guys have a new name right now, right? Okay, Bowling for a Cure. All right, awesome. All right, so thank you. You know teams, yes. Bring them out, like encourage them to sign up, bring them to our next meetings that we'll show later at the end when they are. And we appreciate all of you signing up. All right, so I'm gonna touch on this as something that's very important and that really goes together. American Cancer Society and the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, I feel like they go together like peanut butter and jelly. You gotta have them both. Why is it important and why we need your support? And I'll kind of explain the small flyers on your table. So once a year we ask for this. You can go ahead and turn it. So ACS CAN, believe it or not, it's not in here, but it was founded in 2001, and it is the nonprofit advocacy affiliate of the American Cancer Society. They're separate organizations, but they still have the same shared vision of ending cancer as we know it for everyone. Some of the key things you know as the American Cancer Society, it does support through advocacy, research, and patient support. And we help people, the cancer survivors and their caregivers. We help give people home away from home, right, at Hope Care Lodges. We know we have one in Michigan near Grand Rapids. We help people get rides to and from treatments when they need it. And we have a 24/7 helpline that is always there for, I can think of many people have used that around the clock. ACS CAN is dedicated to passing evidence-based laws that help fight cancer and ensure that everyone has a fair and just opportunity to prevent, detect, and treat cancer and survive it. So it is organized in 50 states in 435 congressional districts to help with its impact federal and local campaigns. And the big thing is advocacy. Advocacy for funding, advocacy for treatments at a federal and state level. That is, go ahead, next slide. So that's my short version. What do we work on? And this is important. Cancer research funding, strong smoke-free laws, and higher tobacco taxes. That's been a big thing in our state, and I'll touch on that more as we go on here. That's huge. One of the things that we've learned about in our state, you might think, okay, higher tax and smoking. We have other issues we're dealing with is there's a spike in vaping now, and especially with teenagers in the schools, and it's a challenge. And that's something we're getting out there and being advocates and asking our senators and our state representatives to help us with that and get funding for that. For programs to help people with that. Life-saving screening programs and access to quality, affordable health care. We know that is a challenge even in this country, in the United States. So everybody wants quality care. We need it. And sometimes people, unfortunately, do not get that. So that's what we work on and why. And we have here the Michigan Cancer Action Center. I said we work at the state capitol level with our representatives in DC. We all have different reps in our area, depending where you live, but they are there, and that's who we speak to. Go ahead. There's an event that we do every year. This year it's May 13th, and it is in Lansing. It is called Michigan Cancer Action Day, where we actually go and talk with our senators and House representatives. Jill and I have been before. Rhonda's not here. She went with me last year. They help us make appointments. And we meet with our senators and our state reps. And it is great. They sit down with you. What happened? What happened? Oh, you see me in the picture. I'm there. Okay, she circled me. Also, okay, wait, Jill's in there. Circle Jill. She's in there. I was like, what's happening? Yes, we're really there. We're even in the flyer. And we didn't do that. Yes, so it's an exciting day, and it's like a 9 to 3 day. We're out there. If anyone is interested, it is a great opportunity. Last year, we met with Senator Dana Pohanke. She is a huge advocate. She even remembered what we talked about with her the prior year, And she is a big advocate of cancer prevention, especially this topic of smoking cessation programs to help and to get this under control with our teens in our state. So it's a great opportunity. If you're interested, we'll talk to you more about it after. Jill and I could talk to you about that. We'd love to have you join us that day. Go ahead, next slide. Okay, so this is why we say breaking news in this area, things that are important. So why being part of the Michigan Cancer Action Network is so important. So long story short, this was huge. And I forget the date got cut off, but it was February 3rd. This just happened. So Congress passed the most impactful cancer fighting bills in years. And what they're saying because of advocates like us, this started over a year ago where they wanted to cut cancer research over 40%. But we kept going back to our senators and House representatives and just a simple right back to them and say, would you please help us, back this, and we need this support. Through emails and phone calls. So February 3rd, they passed the bill. So now this is exciting that we have now increased funding for cancer research out of this bill and expanded, cancer prevention and screening. So this is something important just from you simply making an email connection with your senator. And it's not a hard thing thinking I work so much, I can't sit there and draft a letter from scratch. No problem. They help you with that. They have you a nice, beautiful form letter that you can just send to them. That's what ACS Can helps you do. But because of our voices, we helped get this bill passed February 3rd. So that's huge. So we have to give a round of applause. This is something super important. So we need to be advocates in this room right now to stop our local airport to be smoke-free. I don't know if some of you have heard of this or not, but the airport authority is trying to allow smoking for a bar that will allow smoking in the McNamara terminal. So it could be, it's going to put people at risk, travelers and workers. We know the effects of secondhand smoke. And we have the right for clean air. So on the next page, this is an important thing, and we'll pause for a moment. If you take out your phones, and if you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to a website link. That's a simple thing that you can sign this proposal to keep our airport, Detroit Metro, smoke-free. So the next thing, go ahead, go to the next slide so we can move things along.
I can come back to it.
She'll come back to it. All right, so why join ACS Can? Because for things like this, what I just explained, right? To stop smoking in our airports, to be a voice at the federal level, right, in our state level. So important initiatives for cancer research, cancer screenings can move on. So ACS Can, we're dedicated. We're dedicated to help saving lives with cancer. So it's real simple what we're asking for. Next page. It's $10 donation, and we ask this once a year. You are an ACS Can member. All right, and that helps in passing legislation to fight cancer. So this is for our Wayne Westland, our goal for our community, Wayne Westland, can't talk today. Westland, Wayne, Western Wayne County. Our goal is to get 40 people to sign up for this season. It's $10, that's it, $10. And that helps keep these programs going and what we're doing. Us going to Lansing, us writing to our legislators. So if, you can take that. If you don't like to do that electronically and you want to use, there are paper copies. If you want to fill that out and give that to myself or Jill, we'll get those processed as well on those papers there that say ACS Can. You can do it that way as well, because some people like to give, here's $10 cash, you can do that or write a check, and we'll take care of that. So, yes, go ahead.
If you know somebody, they don't have to be a part of our relay, but if
Nope.
they join ACS Can, even if they're not in the relay, they will get these emails and be an ACS Can member, and they'll get all the updates on the Metro Airport and stopping the smoking. If if that does go we don't want it to pass. So they do not have to be a relayer. They can still join ACS CAN and help us fight this.
Yes, thank you. All right, so anyone have any questions on that? I said a lot, but it's something we're very passionate about, and in the beginning I wasn't sure, but the last several years I've been very more involved with it, and it is so important. Our voices are so important, and if we don't do it, you know, others are not going to do it, right? We need to be that voice for others that can't be the voice, right? So, all right, that I appreciate you guys taking the time, and then we can talk more about that after. So, thank you so much, and I'm going to turn things over to Kathy. We're going to talk about our survivors. Woo-hoo.
We're all about survivors. We would like to shine a light on our survivors tonight. So will someone at your table pick up the little lantern and turn it on? You'll have to pull the little, and I have mine here. Okay. All right. We have a light on. This is a light on all of our survivors. At this time, I would like all the survivors in the room to stand up. That's my phone. Kick it. Could I have you tell me your name back here? Monique, how long have you been a survivor?
I was in remission since July of 25.
Awesome. We have, over here.
My name's Helen Mitchell, and I had a tumor when I was like 18 months old, so that's been way too many years. Like 68 years.
Awesome. That's awesome. And thank you to Dominic and all of his cohorts for the research they've done to make it possible for us to stand here tonight. And sir?
Mental skin cancer, 9 different times.
9 different times. Okay, well, God bless you. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. 1999. Awesome. It's
cervical cancer when I was 27, and when I was 49, I had thyroid cancer, and then I also had skin cancer on my forehead.
Well, I'm so happy you're here. Carol, we're not here just because we like to do this. We are personally involved.
So I'm a 6-year survivor. I had ovarian cancer, cancer-free.
This October, I will be a 16-year survivor of breast cancer. So, thank you. So you can all have a seat now. We need to put faces on cancer. It's, if you listen to the, well, I dropped the light. No, I don't break things. I just drop them. So the American Cancer Society, I heard some of you say I was in remission. The American Cancer Society says that being a survivor is anyone who has ever been diagnosed with cancer, no matter where they are in the course of their disease. So the day that you heard that horrible word, I remember I did not know I was going in to be screened for cancer. And they looked at me and they went, "Do you have any questions?" And I went, "How can I have any questions when I didn't know that this is what we were going to be talking about?" So from that moment on, that moment that you get the initial word from somebody is the moment that you are a survivor, because you have taken the action already that is going to help save your life. And it's the ones who don't go in and get the testing and get the results that are the ones who are going to have the harder road to go down. So you can be getting treatment right now, and you're still a survivor. You can actually be in palliative care, and you're still a survivor. You can be suffering long-term effects from your treatment, but you're still a survivor. You can be dealing over here, we heard several. This gentleman here, had, repeated types of cancer. And skin cancer is hard. I also have been diagnosed 3 times, basal cell and squamous, with skin cancer on top of the breast cancer. So, but we're survivors. We are here today because we took the step to find out what was wrong with us. So, in fact, I just spoke with a woman who has agreed to be our speaker for Relay, who meets the next criteria. She's living with cancer as a chronic condition. There is no treatment. There is nothing they can do for her. But she's a survivor. And she's going to come and talk to us at Relay. This past week on Facebook, I've seen some ads, and there's been so many things that have been popping up that I couldn't decide exactly how I wanted to talk tonight. But there were some quotes, and this one, and I know everybody hates to hear about the pink ribbons and breast cancer because there's so many other kinds of cancer. But this one was, "The pink ribbons are everywhere, but no one talks about the scars or the emotional and physical that never fully heal. Breast cancer isn't a brand or a trend. It's trauma, it's surgeries, it's medication, it's fear that lingers long after the treatment. Survivors don't just move on. We live with it the rest of our lives. I'm going to be 16 years out in October, and I still have to see my oncologist because I had 13 out of 16 lymph nodes that were positive. So he can't let me go. It has never showed up, thank God, but he won't let me go. So every time I go in and I walk out of that visit and he goes, "We don't see any sign of cancer." I just go, Praise the Lord, because it's still a fear. I don't think about it every day. I don't think about it every month. But I sure do think about it when I have to go visit him. But the ribbons, and I don't care what color ribbons we're talking about, if they're purple or if they're green, or my husband had bladder cancer, and theirs are 2 different colors. I think they're starting to run out of colors because they're starting to blend them here. But all the ribbons should remind us that's kind of why I asked about the different strains, because there's cancers that people you've never heard of. We think, we know ovarian cancer, and we have heard of pancreatic cancer and breast cancers everywhere. There are so many cancers we don't know about, and we need to. And we need to remember that the funding that we get has got to go on. When I heard they were going to reduce the funding for cancer research, I was really upset. And I'm far beyond needing that research for me, but it's for all of you and for all of my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. We need the funding. We need people like Dominic, and we need to keep pushing to make sure that there is money available so that they can do their job. So, thank you. Chemo doesn't just kill cancer, it changes everything. It changes our taste, our sleep, our skin, our moods. Well, I got a lot of moods, but nothing is untouched. And yet, we endure. That's what makes us unstoppable. And one last thing, you can know that people may look at you and they don't see that you've been through anything. Well, you had cancer 10 years ago. What are you still worried about? Blah. Well, your body's been cut. It's been burned and poisoned. And you're still standing. That's not weakness. That's resilience. So to all of you, I appreciate you, and I'm happy to have you here with us tonight. And I will keep working with Relay for Life to raise the money to fill this room twice over with more survivors. Thank you. And I won't drop.
So we have some really cool fundraisers coming up. And if you open your little goodie bag, you have a really cool cooling towel. Hopefully we'll have a really warm day on Relay Day so you can wear that cooling towel. So our next fundraiser that is coming up is a Dine to Donate right next door at Red Robin, and that will be on Tuesday, March 31st. And there is ordering online if you want to do a carry-out. And then our next, as we have done in the past, if you send me your receipt, just take a picture of it and then send it to me so that your team gets credit for your meal. We'll do it that way. You do not have to give them the flyer, but you do need to tell them that you're there for Relay for Life. If you want to bring the flyer, you can do that. On your table, the back side of the Buddy's Pizza is also the Red Robin, so you have both of them on the same flyer. Okay? Then our next flyer is not a relay fundraiser, but it is a Let There Be Light, one of our teams, and they're doing a Dine to Donate at sports venue in Garden City. They have amazing food. Their soup last year in ladles won first place. This year they got second place. Yep. So they have amazing food. What's that dessert you love? I love them all. But what's the one that? I think it was rice pudding. Yeah. Yeah, so she really likes that. And they'll be having a bake sale and selling 50-50 tickets. When they get to a certain amount, they'll draw, and then they'll do another one. Go for lunch and dinner. So that's what we do when I'm not working. So she'll do the same thing. Give Barb your receipt before you go, and then they'll do the same thing if you want to do that. Our next Dine to Donate will be on a Thursday, April 30th at Buddy's Pizza. But now that we have taken on the Plymouth and Canton, we're doing it at both locations. So the Canton Ford Road carry out and the Livonia where you can sit down or carry out, both locations will be on that day, the same exact day. So if you are closer to one or the other, if you want to go sit down, go to Livonia. If you're in a hurry, go to Canton. So both of them will be that day. They give back 20%. If you're doing an online order to go, if you use the promo code GIVEBACK for any to-go orders, that way we'll be sure that it comes back to us. And make sure that, again, turn in your receipt. And then we also have, we don't have the final details yet, we're working on it, our Mother's Day tea. So we moved our spring March tea to Mother's Day. It'll be Sunday, May 3rd at the Jefferson Barnes Community Center. And once we have more details, we will let you know about that. And then again, my team Avon, if any of you do purchase Avon from me throughout the year, I donate back 20% of your purchase to you on your own fundraising. Not my team, but directly to you. And those pink and brown boots on the table, those are available. They're in the brochure for $25. I would sell them to you for $20, and $5 of each one of them would go back to your team for fundraising if you're interested in those. So thank you very much. If you have any other fundraising questions, let me know. And Carol's going to wrap it up.
Okay, we're almost done here. All right, big special thank you to the city of Westland, WLND. Taping tonight too, woohoo! Ethan, yay! And Kyle Mulligan and the Parks and Rec team, they've been out, they're great. So another round of applause for them. All right, coming up next, okay, so this year we have a new location for team meetings, and it's not that far away. So before they were up at the church, you're just gonna go another driveway over. So they are at the Livonia Westland Chamber of Commerce building, which is the next lot over on Wayne Road. If you know where Carlos's Mexican restaurant is, right there on the corner, and that strip mall where Homestead Kitchen and Cakery is, it's right next to Homestead. So there's a nice office. As we are chamber members, American Cancer Society Relay for Life, we get to utilize that building for no charge. And they are going to provide us water and pop and coffee as well for using it. So we're going to have our meetings there this time. We're going to have decaf by the time the meeting comes. Don't worry.
No decaf?
No, we will. We'll have it in case you would like it, but okay. All right. So that's the address. On your table, you have the cute little cards to take with you that you can put in your wallet that has all the team meetings. coming up. So the 24th of March on Tuesday night at 6:30 will be our first one. So if you need extra on your table, like take them, you can feel free to take these, and then you know when our meetings are. So we just ask, and it helps. We're going to have some raffles for people that come to our meetings, as it's so important you're there. We try to keep them to 1 hour, that's it, and get you out and done. You can just walk over and get some carry out at Carlos too. I'm telling you, it's very easy. Okay, so those are all our meeting dates, so you know. We have 3 of them will be at the Chamber building. The other ones will be at the park, our logistic night, which is on here, June 2nd. And then we'll have a wrap-up on June 22nd at 6 p.m. And we didn't fix that slide. It's really, it's the 23rd. I thought we forgot to fix that because it was too late. It is the 20. Your cards are right. The screen is wrong. Your card is right. So anyways, so that way you know the dates and you have them. And we are so thankful you came this Tuesday night and spent it with us. And we have event flyers in the back too for June 6th, right? My dates are so mixed up. Saturday, June 6th, our big event at the park, 11 a.m. to midnight. Yes. So all this is building up to our big relay day. So that will be right down the street at Central City Park, Tatton Park. Farmers Market, you know. If you're brand new, we'll explain. And I just want to say another thank you to Dominic Awad. Thank you for coming tonight. It was awesome. We appreciate your efforts coming right after work here and sharing, but we appreciate what you do. And then it helps us drive why we do what we do as well. So thank you so much. And also, if anyone, ACS can, if you're going to turn those in tonight, you can give them to myself or Jill. I'll take them, and we'll get those processed. All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. Any questions, please see us, and have a great evening. And we'll see you on March 24th.